In this video we'll show how you can use the new advanced search control in a UX component that has a list where the list is based on a SQL database. So you can see here we have a UX component. We have a list that is based on the sample Northwind database showing the customer table, and we've got an advanced search control over here at the top of the component. So we'll go ahead now and click the button to add a new search field, and we get basically a pick list of all of the available fields that the developer has allowed us to search on. So let's go and say we'd like to search on company name. So there we can go and pick a field from the company name control, and this particular control here has been configured as a combo box with a pick list that is dynamically defined in an AJAX callback. So we'll go ahead there and choose, say, around the horn, and then go ahead and run the query, and you can see that the query runs. I'll go ahead now and clear the search, and so now I'm back to all of the records and there are no fields currently selected in the advanced search control. So now I'll go here and I'll choose, say, city, and then I'll go here, and again this field was configured as a combo list where the pick list is an AJAX callback. So I'll go there and choose burn and then run the query. Now I'll go and say add another search field. I'll choose country, and now you can see that because there are two or more search fields configured, we can choose whether this is now going to be an and or an or. So I'll go here, and in country you can see I can't display a pick list by tapping on a drop down button, but we've got this field configured as an auto suggest. So as I start typing, you can see we get suggestions. So you can see I've typed in US, so my pick list shows the available choices, and the portion in the available choices that matches what I've typed in is highlighted in bold. So I'll go there and choose USA, and now I can run the query, and I'm going to basically see let's go there and choose or, run the query now, and I see all records where the country is either USA or the city is Bern. Now I can also go here, for example, in the city field and type in, say, comma London, and then change my search here from an equals to QBF syntax. So now we're going to be searching for all records where the city is Bern or London, or the country is USA. So we'll go ahead there and run that, and you can see we find the matching records. So when you define a search field in the advanced search control, you can go ahead and specify the type of search that you want to do, and the options are the standard query options like equals, does not equals, less than, etc. But then the last option, the QBF syntax, allows you to use the same syntax that is used in grid searches, supporting QBF syntax like the ... operator, etc. So what we've shown here is the advanced search in operation. Let's go now and take a look at how this was configured. So we'll go back to design mode now, and you can see here's our list. There's the detail view for the list, and then we've gone to the component and added a new control here called the AdvancedListSearch. So we did that by going to data controls, clicking on the more button, and then choosing AdvancedListSearch. That put the control over here, and then we just double click on the control or click on the smart field for control properties to open the builder. So you can see that in the builder we've set the list to be list 1. So in the case of a UX that has more than one list control, you could basically have multiple advanced search controls. And then we've gone and configured the available search fields. So for each field we pick a field. In this case there are no fields in the list that have not yet been picked, so you can see they've all been picked. And then for each field that we pick, we choose the configuration, we choose the control type that is used. So in the case of, say, country, we said that was a suggest control, so the available controls are all shown over here. And then we've gone and configured the configuration where those suggest control gets its values from. So what we've shown in this video is how you can basically set up a UX component to use an advanced search control for searching in a list that is bound to a SQL database. Thanks very much for watching. In this video we'll take a look at some of the advanced features that can be configured for the advanced search feature that allows you to search a list that is based on a SQL database. So let's go here first and just run the component. So there's our advanced search. We'll go over to the city field there and search on Bern, and then basically run the search, and we can see that the search runs. But it would be nice to know exactly what the actual search that Alpha Anywhere computed was. So let's go and turn that feature on. So we'll go to our component and we'll go here and go to other controls, and then we'll add a placeholder. So we'll find the placeholder control. So there we go. So we'll add a placeholder, and this is where we're going to display debugging information. So this is placeholder number 2. So we'll go to advanced search, and now we'll configure this. So we'll customize search options. We'll say display debugging information, and we'll display it in placeholder number 2. So we'll go ahead now and run the search. So we'll go there and we'll choose, say, city, and we'll go and choose, say, Aarhus, and there we go, and you can see there's our filter. And now let's go here and type in comma London, and then change our search method to QBF syntax, run the query, and you can see now basically our query is city is equal to Aarhus, or city is equal to London. So the ability to turn on debugging information is helpful, so that you can see exactly what the filter was, or the where clause was, that Alpha Anywhere computed. Another nice option is the ability to save and reload queries. So let's go back to design mode right now, go back to our component, go to the customize option, and turn on the ability to save and load. So when you turn on the ability to save and load, you also need to specify a unique key, and the reason for this is that when you load queries, you only want to load queries that are appropriate for the particular list that you're looking at. So when you press the load button, only queries that match this unique key are displayed in the pick list. So I'm going to go here and I'll just call this my query 1 as my unique key. Go ahead there and save it. Go ahead now and run the component, and we can see now that we have a load button. But when I press the load button, I'm going to get an error because I haven't yet configured the repository table where the saved queries should be stored. So let's go back to the web project now. We'll go over here to project properties, and in project properties we'll find a section here called the repository settings. So we'll go here and we'll say I'd like to create a repository table in the Northwinds database. I'll go there and choose Northwinds, and I'll call this repository table, say my repo 1, and then I basically, if I have an existing table, I could use that as my repository by just specifying how the required fields map to the available fields in the table I selected, or I can just click on this create button over here, and that'll create a repository for me. So now I've gone ahead and I've created a repository table, and let's go ahead now and run our component again. So now we'll go ahead now and try the load button, and you can see it tells us that at this point there are no saved queries. So let's go back now and let's search on, say, city is equal to London, and then add a new search field, and then we'll choose country, and we'll type in, say, USA, and we'll basically make that into an OR. We'll run the query, and then we'll save this query, and we'll call it basically say query 1, and then go ahead and hit the save button. Okay, so now we've basically gone and we've saved that query. So now let's go back to running the component. So we'll now press the load button. This time there is a query that was being saved, so we'll choose query 1. You can see it retrieves the query, and then I can go ahead and run it. So what we've shown here is how you can basically display debugging information and how you can save and reload queries for future use. Thanks very much for watching.